What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about how we're getting new updates to Hogwarts Legacy soon, and that is the quote, that is the phrase that WB has decided to use. Now, obviously, we had the PlayStation Showcase, and there's quite a few things that were and were not there, right? And it's been quite a whirlwind. There's no really way of denying that over the last several days. Now, this has been spreading online. It's been spreading on Reddit. It's been spreading just on Twitter in general. David Hinkle is the first one to show me it, so I want to thank him. But there were many people that sent me it, and I want to thank actually all of you, for caring in that way. And this was a thing. Basically, it's a newsletter. It was a newsletter from WB Games, and I don't think I got it, but maybe I'm not signed up for their newsletter, and maybe I should be. But this was sent out basically to talk about things that were coming in September, games that were going to be playable or updates or, whatever. And you can see, a bunch of stuff that has relevance in September, but then it talks about, well, then there's a gap without there really being a gap, and it goes into DC fandom, and then it goes into Hogwarts Legacy, and that's where you can see Hogwarts Legacy, where it says, updates basically coming soon, okay, or that it's happening soon. Now, you could read it in just a literal, kind of like a chronological point of view where, and this is how I, in a way, read it, where it's like, well, Hogwarts Legacy, maybe that comes right after DC fandom, but a couple things, honestly, to note here. And I was going to make this a video on its own, and now I feel like I can just kind of seamlessly put it in here. The game's not canceled, okay? Please, and I don't say this as like a harsh thing or like you're stupid or like I'm above you or anything like that. Honestly, none of that stuff I even remotely consider. You know what I mean? But the people that are saying like this game, is the game canceled? The game is canceled. They're worried about it. I guess worried. You could be worried about it. I'm not gonna try to talk you off that edge. For the people saying like the game's canceled or they think the game could be canceled, I mean, we just need to, I think, collectively take a deep breath, which is something I struggle to do because I talk too much and too long. But we all need to take a deep breath and just calm down. And again, I don't say that in a I'm better than you kind of point of view, but the game's not canceled. I mean, I thought we were past this, you know what I mean? I get it, not having anything of the game announced or talked about in a full year. I mean, Thursday is the 1-year anniversary, which, by the way, is it possible they do something on it, like a picture? And I think we've talked about this before, right? It's possible, but again, based off of that newsletter, well, again, two things. Number one, it's not canceled, so please stop. And number two, it's coming soon. The update's coming soon. But one thing I think people are getting confused about, and I really don't think it's all that hard, it's not happening in September. One thing I think you can read into how they did it with DC fandom and with Hogwarts is those are the two things kind of looking beyond September. Okay, so now you could read it that Hogwarts will, again, like timeline-wise, literally have something shown after DC fandom. Like DC fandom is first, October 16th, and then maybe late October, maybe November, maybe December. That's when we get Hogwarts Legacy, right? And you could think that, and I honestly have I'm not going to like stop you from that. However, even if the order honestly is reversed, even if Hogwarts comes first, I do think generally, because there is a gap, and like there's wording, and I'll try and show like pictures so you guys can see it, for your own eyes, but the way they presented this kind of newsletter definitely made it seem like, okay, here's the stuff that's actually in September, and then here's two very specific things that like still exist and is still coming, but it's not happening in September. So I think no matter what, and now does that mean that we're not going to get anything on the 1-year anniversary of Hogwarts Legacy? I don't think so. I really do think it's possible they could show a new picture, or I mean, it would be nice if they gave us like a verbal update on like, hey, things are going okay, like hopefully, or I guess like, hey, we showed this game a year ago and we had a blast. We know you guys fell in love with it immediately. We know we have a hardcore, community online. Game's going great. We'll see you soon, or we'll talk to you. Like even something like that. You don't even have to show us a new picture. Something like that I think would be perfectly fine. I think that can still happen. But I think what the newsletter basically is saying is like big stuff, like a trailer, like gameplay, like something really, even like a release date, what, and I don't, we've talked about order and how these things are going to happen before, but this is not things that I think are going to happen in September based off that newsletter. But, honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy that this thing happened because, no joke, on Friday, Saturday, my idea for this topic was literally going to be just talking about it's not canceled. We need to relax a little bit. games do this. Normally, it's first-party games like Sony, Xbox, or Microsoft, Nintendo. Normally, it's games like that show themselves, take like a year or so off, come back, take another time off, come back. That happens actually quite often with those kind of. So I get that it's not that, and that it should. And again, I understand, shown in that kind of PlayStation hype video that was extremely stupid of Sony to do. I know let me address one last thing, kind of just to tie up all loose ends, and then obviously next video we can kind of move on. Somebody, and I think it's going around on Reddit too, they're claiming that there's like a picture of Hogwarts, the symbol, in the PlayStation teaser. Now, I don't doubt that. I did see the picture. The thing is, though, there's another group of people out there claiming that that's infamous. So, I don't know. It's up to you guys, obviously, to decode it for yourselves. Maybe we were looking at, maybe these are different people that are looking at the symbol and just flat out coming to different conclusions. But there is that. Obviously, that would add a lot to it as well, right? Because Sly was kind of teased. The Final Fantasy 16's release date was potential. There was actually quite a bit of random stuff that turns out to be pretty cool in that PlayStation kind of commercial they did right before the show, or like, to kind of kick off the show. So if that is Hogwarts Legacy, again, it's just more of a, that's kind of why, like, if it was Hogwarts, if it's infamous, whatever, it's just more of a, okay, here's things that are coming, like, we haven't forgotten it. But don't worry about, you can worry about the game. So again, I'm going to correct myself there. You can worry, you can be as concerned or as optimistic or pessimistic as you want, but games do this. Was it smart for them to do this? Probably not, but again, the stuff around the world has obviously changed a lot. I don't think this was their plan to go dark for an entire year. In fact, 100% that wasn't their plan, because the game was supposed to come out this year. Remember, I always predicted November. I've kind of stuck with November this year, and then November next year. That's always kind of been my month. So yeah, just think about that critically, right? Of course, they didn't plan on taking an entire year off of talking about the game. They thought the game was going to release in another month or two. So clearly, they thought they were going to be able to show a bunch more. So, things have been kind of thrown out of whack. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they're waiting for something very specific, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. But trust me, and I do say, like, I don't like to say that. I hate saying trust me, because you shouldn't trust most people in the gaming industry. However, I feel like I'm kind of outside of that, being relatable, being somewhat respectable, hopefully, to you guys. I would say, trust me, game is not canceled, and we are going to see it. It's just a matter of when. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, or subscribe to our second channel, or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for all of them are in the description below. Thursday will be the next Hogwarts Legacy video. We'll do something special kind of for the 1-year anniversary. And who knows, maybe if we see the game, that could be something else, obviously, we will definitely talk about. So thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.